So Generation 9 decided to give us terastallizing, which I think is pretty solid and fun despite those stupid hats. But it constantly has me wondering how this will be portrayed in the anime. Now we all know Ash won't be a part of the new series, but his Pokemon should technically have a Tera Type, right? So today let's give every Ash Pokemon an official Tera Type. So if you like Ash Ketchum and his Pokemon, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more content just like this. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into it. Now to cover every Ash Pokemon, we'll go in owned regional order, starting off with Pikachu. Now I thought about this a lot, as I could go with the gifted promotional Flying Tera Pikachu, but it really didn't hit the same. So in the end, I decided on the electric Tera type for Pikachu, since well, it's electric type. But of course, I do have some honorable mentions of normal, steel, and flying Tera types as well. Next is Bulbasaur, which I went with the obvious grass Tera typing, simply because Bulbasaur only knows grass moves. Though honorable mention to Poison if it ever gets a Poison type move. Then we have Charizard, a real tough one for me, as I could go for the basic fire, but I decided to go for the Dragon Tera type, as this is actually Ash's first Draconic Mon, so why not take advantage of the Dragon Tera type here. As for Squirtle, its Tera type is water. I would say it fits and is pretty simple. Then next for the other Kanto Pokemon, we have Kingler with water, Primeape with Ghost. Because of the whole Annihilate thing, it just really sucks we'll never get to see Ash evolve his Primeape. And of course you have Muck with Poison. And then there's Tauros, or 30 of them. So I think it'd be pretty cool if you could actually give at least 18 different Tauros, 18 different Tera types. Then group up the rest of them as normal, ground, fighting, and dark specifically, so having a couple duplicate typings. And lastly is Snorlax with normal, and that's pretty easy because it's a normal type Pokemon. As for Johto, we start off with Heracross, which of course being the bug Tera type, and the first one for Ash. As for the Johto starters, we have Bayleaf with Fairy due to its personality, Quilava with Fire, and Totodile with Dark. Just a nice switch up to pay homage to its scary face move and also Bite. Then the remaining Johto Pokemon are Noctowl with Psychic and Donphan with Rock. But also Ground could work here, I was going back and forth, but I say Rock. Then we have Ash's Hoenn Pokemon, which are probably the easiest out of all the regions. First is Swellow with Flying, but Electric was a close mention because of Thunder Armor. Then Sceptile with Grass. Then Corphish, Torkoal, and Glalie with Water, Fire, and Ice, which coincides with their typings. As for Sinnoh, it gets a little bit different, giving Staraptor the fighting Tera type because of close combat. As for the starters, Torterra and Infernape, I went for the Grass and Fire, but their secondary typings are great honorable mentions, which are Ground and Fighting. Which leaves Buizel, Gliscor, and Gible, which I decided on Ice for Buizel due to Ice Punch and the very prominent Ice Aqua Jet. Gliscor with the Flying Tera type due to his training with Air Battle Master McCann, and then Gible with Dragon for obvious reasons. Then swiftly into Unova, we have Unfezant taking on the Flying Tera type, which is then followed by the Unova starters Oshawott, Pignite, and Snivy, which I went for Water, Fire, and Grass respectively. Though I did think for Pignite we could go for Ground, Rock, or Fighting. I'm not really sure here, so let me know in the comments down below. To round off the Unova team, we have Scraggy with Fighting, Leavanny with Bug, Palpito with Poison, Boldore with Rock, and Crocodile with Dark. I think it could utilize the typing here. And then it's time for Kalos, everyone's favorite team. So Talonflame takes on the Flying Tera type, then Hawlucha with the Flying Tera type, and Noivern with the normal Tera type, just to really utilize the Boom Burst and Supersonic here. Taking a trip to Alola, we come into play with Rowlet with the Flying type, Lycanroc with Rock for obvious reasons, but I will mention that Dark was a very close second here due to its temper. Then for Incineroar, I decided on Fighting because fire fighting is just a funny thing to me. And lastly, Melmetal would have to have Steel. Just like imagine a double Iron Bash with like Terrestrial Steel, that's kinda crazy. Lastly is Ash's Journeys team, which would start with Mr. Mime as a Fairy Tera type, due to it being technically Ash's only Fairy type Pokemon. Then we have Dragonite sporting the Dragon Tera type, clearly Gengar with the obvious Ghost. As for Lucario, I decided on Steel to make sure it can really utilize Bullet Punch as well as the Steel Beam. So that means Sirfetch'd would be a Fighting Tera type, and Dragovich would be a Dragon Tera type as well. And just like that, we covered all of Ash's Pokemon with a brand new Tera type. Well, except for the released ones. And you know Greninja would be a big deal if I forgot it. Like I put it in the thumbnail and didn't mention it in the video, you guys will lose your minds. So here are the quick Tera types for every released Ash Pokemon. Butterfree with Bug, Pidgeot with Flying, Lapras with Ice, Greninja with Water, like imagine it stacked with Battle Bond, even though it's nerfed, it just would be cool to see. Then Goodra with Water as well, and Naganadel with Electric due to it using Electrium Z when it came back into battle. So there you have it, a Tera type for every Ash Pokemon. Now this was a lot to cover in one video, but it was fun, I had a great time. Now of course, if you didn't agree or would change any of the Tera types that I said for Ash's Pokemon, let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious on what you guys would have as far as a take for Tera types for Ash's Pokemon. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more Ash and Pokemon anime content. Be sure to check out for more content coming soon, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!